Hello, welcome. My name is San. This is a reading today for Leo. There are no dates on my readings. I trust that when they find you, if they resonate, then they're yours at that time. Leo, I'm doing your reading with a blend of decks. You'll see a mix of several decks in your spread today. And we've got the Two of Pentacles on the split. This was the first card on the table for the Cancer reading, which was talking about a rare magic that was being propagated or harvested or utilized for the first time. And the Nine of Wands, somebody being very protective and guarded. So I want to say that that's your energy, Leo. And the King of Discs at the bottom of the deck. Maybe this King of Discs is who's about to enter your life, because you've got somebody coming in very powerfully. With the first card that's already on the table is the Eight of Wands. I'll get to that in a moment. It could involve a train ride, perhaps. But that's the interesting thing about the train, is that the train can be a mode of transportation that surpasses all others because it has its own dedicated rail line, so it gets there more efficiently. But the one riding the train is actually having a very leisurely time, which may actually be perceived as a bit of a hindrance at this moment, because it does feel like there's some urgency on their part to get a message to you. You have the Messenger here on the table from the Oz and Wonderland deck. But okay, anyway, let's pull an overall energy from the Lufruma Healing Oracle to see what's really going on here. It's reminding me a little bit of Halen's reading. You know, my friend Halen has her own channel, and she just did a Pisces reading, and it was talking about somebody finally finding a lawyer or a social worker that was going to help them with a case or a situation that they were having a hard time managing on their own. It feels a bit like that, but it's more personal. It's not like finding somebody that you're going to be hiring or working with. It feels like a more personal, intimate relationship, more one-on-one than that. It's not a client. It's not like a client-lawyer relationship. It's something more friendly. Okay, overall energy from the Lufruma Healing Oracle. So you got Elk's Protection. That's powerful. Look at this card. You can see the elk's face in it, and it's got sacred geometry coming in with it as well. Communication rules. Listening is key to understanding. Call an elk to find your voice and stand your ground. Okay, so that's interesting. And then you've got the Sun card right underneath that. It's interesting how often the cards come out from the Lufruma with two overall energies. So it's like the Sun is backing the elk, or the Sun is coming in right behind the elk, kind of like a breaking new energy coming into your life, a dawning energy coming in. I feel like this has been a little bit of a theme that's been at least developing, if it hasn't shown itself outright in the readings. There's been this feeling of not just protection, but of service. Focus on service, and a focus on people coming in almost like to save the day kind of a thing. Somebody coming in to help you through a situation that clearly you're having a hard time managing on your own. But the interesting thing is they're coming in with the story of their own situation, because they have the Eight of Wands and the Three of Swords as starting their reading, and it's the reason that they're rushing in. They're rushing in on a train, meaning that they're coming in to your life in a way that is unforeseen. The train is not, at least in my experience, something that people utilize very regularly. Not in these parts anyway. Mostly people are in their cars on the highways and such, especially if they're moving between cities. But the train is talking about that they may be coming from another town or another city to see you because they have an urgent message about heartbreak. It's not their heartbreak. Their heartbreak is in the past. But it's because of something that they've experienced in the past that they feel particularly drawn to want to help you at this moment, is how it's feeling to me. It's like they're witnessing you going through something, and it's unbearable to them because of something that they have been through, and they don't want to see it happen either again or in a similar way for you or with you. So they're coming in. Okay, and then you've got the Wheel of Fortune coming up next. This has got the white rabbit in it. It's talking about almost missing a date, but not missing the date, getting there just in time with all those clocks. There's 1, 2, 3. There's at least 8 clocks in this. 8 clocks and then a spiraling rabbit hole in the background. So it's almost as if he I feel like it's a he, maybe because of the King of Pentacles that's coming out on the split there, and the King of Swords underneath that. I'm not sure if these are the same people, if it's talking about that this King of Pentacles is very worldly and resourceful and quite intellectual. Exceptionally resourceful is what I want to say. Whether or not they have a lot of resources at their disposal, they're very resourceful, and it could be the reason that they're coming in an unusual way, because they've chosen the mode of transportation that is the most efficient, because they are exceptionally resourceful. I hope that makes sense. It's like they're seeing an urgent need arising, and maybe because the Six of Cups is coming up next, it's like they've got a bond with you that goes way back. I'm loving how she's discarded her little alien doll there in order to prioritize the meeting with this friend who's coming in with a cup. He's offering a cup, one of the 6 cups, because they're discussing the past, is how it's coming out. But he's come to her, or has invited her to him. Because I'm looking at that treehouse and it almost feels like it belongs to him, but maybe that's not true. No, that's not true. That is her space. It's her space and he's the visitor, because he's looking very traveled. So he's arrived on this train or this alternate form of transportation. It could even be just the communication is coming in a way that is unusual. Instead of using text message, maybe they're just calling you because it's faster and easier. Although so many people just rely on text or email these days that to have your phone ring is almost startling. At least here in Canada, or where I am, my life is like, if somebody calls you, you know that it's urgent. If I get a call from a family member, I'm almost immediately nervous to find out what the news is. I don't know if you feel that way or not. I think Canada's got some of the highest text messaging rates, like the highest instances of text messages. It's been that way for a long time, as far as I know, unless it's changed. I remember hearing one time that Canada has the most text messages of like anywhere. Maybe it's because we're all so spread out. It's the reason why the train is here. So perhaps somebody's traveling a long distance to see you because it feels like they don't live nearby, like they're not in the same city. Because the train really emphasizes the space between. You know, that's when you leave one city, and it's not just a subway, you know what I mean, that stays within the same metropolitan area. It's going out through the countryside. So it's like they're traveling a long way across land to see you. Across land and not water. So they're not so far away. But of course in Canada, if you're in Canada or the United States, you can travel an exceptional amount of distance before you get to the other side. Interesting, get to the other side. What's this? The 6 of Swords coming up next, wool and water. That's their travel to you is looking like this. It's starting out rough for them, but by the time they arrive, they're feeling much better, because the reason that they got on the train in the first place is because of this 10 of Swords. So they're coming from this 10 of Swords and 3 of Swords energy. But this feels like it's long in the past. Well, the 10 of Swords may belong to you. It's like they're witnessing something with you. Okay, there's something interesting going on here, because the Messenger is coming up next, and it almost wants to interrupt my conversation here, my communication here with its own communication, because the Messenger has something to say that's very urgent. It's the reason why they're coming in so quickly. It almost feels like maybe it's because of this ship in the sky here that's witnessing this 10 of Swords occurring. It's like, it's almost as if they were already planning a trip to come and see you, or they were thinking about it. It was like it was on their radar, it was on their mind. When something happened with you that was reminding them of something that has happened with them in the past. This is a past heartbreak. I don't feel like it's active now, but it's very much still, maybe they're still healing from it, but it's not recent. I don't know why I feel that way. Maybe because of the 6 of Cups is here. It could even be a past heartbreak that's related to you in some way, but it doesn't feel like it is. It's just that they are related to you in some way. They care about you, and they're witnessing some sort of injustice happening with you. And because they were already kind of turning in your direction, maybe that's why the Sun card is here with the elk. it's almost like the sunflower energy, like turning its face towards the sun. It's like they were just turning their face towards you, just turning their consciousness in your direction. They could be checking out your socials and finding out that you're struggling right now. And so they've hopped on a train. They've hopped on a train and are rushing towards you before they ever communicate that to you. It's like they didn't ask permission or ask about your schedule. They just jumped on the next train, maybe the next plane, but it feels like it's very grounded, especially because they're the King of Pentacles. They're feeling very grounded, but very fast with the King of Swords. The King of Pentacles and the King of Swords combined is telling me that they're very grounded, but at the same time, the Six of Wands is coming out and the Nine of Cups underneath those cards, and the Ten of Pentacles. So you've got a lot of really beautiful cards, and the Page of Wands. You've got all of these beautiful cards coming in with them. So even though they're coming in urgent, they've got almost like good news for you. They have a very playful energy. That's what this card is telling me. Every time I see this card, there's another card like it, I think, that's always making me think of just a really playful, fun energy. So, and then the Two of Cups underneath that, and the Hanged Man, but it's the Hanged Man that is talking about reaching your peak and stretching to the next beyond threshold. The threshold beyond the one that you've just reached, I guess is the best way to say it. So they're coming in like kind of really serious. They have a serious, urgent reason to be coming to see you, but they were coming anyway, is kind of how it's coming through. Maybe you already had a plan to see them and they're just moving it up sooner or closer. Instead of something being delayed, because I'm thinking about how I was supposed to have a reading with John today. If you know tarot readings by John, my friend who has his own channel that he only posts on there like once a year. I'll probably link his channel in the description box or in the comment section because I love him so much. But he just reappeared the other day for the first time in months with a reading, and I realized that I wanted to get a reading from him. I haven't gotten a reading from a reader. I'm trying to remember the last time. It may have been even a good 10 years that I've gotten, not since I've done the channel, I don't think. Well, there was one, but that one, okay, that's not true. I have had readings. But all the readings that I've had in the past 10 years, I don't know why I'm telling you this. Maybe this is pertinent to your message in some way. All the readings that I've had in the last 10 years have come to me, like people that are generally subscribers that want to offer me their services. We usually do some kind of an exchange, a gift exchange, and I've often gifted readings. But this time I sought John out and actually booked a reading with him. And it was supposed to be today, but our schedules didn't line up, even though we tried. It was like, okay, let's meet in an hour, let's meet in 2 hours, let's meet in a couple of hours. And it just kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed. So we're going to do it next week, and I cannot wait. I'm so excited for it. And it seems like everything maybe this is part of what this Ten of Swords, this injustice is, because I also tried to go see my shaman the other day, and then the whole highway got shut down and blocked my path to her, so I never got to get there. And then today my reading with John got delayed. So it's like everything that I'm attempting to do on my own or for myself is not working out. It's not lining up time-wise. So I have to keep delaying and delaying and delaying. At some point, I'll get to everything that I'm wanting to do. But in the meantime, it's just nothing that I'm trying to do for myself is working out. So maybe that's what's happening for you, and your friend is witnessing that. It's almost like you could have had a brief phone exchange or a text exchange, and you decided that you were going to meet up sometime in the near future. And then they just decided, okay, I'm going to jump on a train right now today, or I'm going to get in the car even and just start driving. And in process, during the journey, I'm going to text you and let you know I've already left home, and I'm going to be arriving sooner than expected. So this is really good news. They're coming in with all that good news, or at least good energy, uplifting energy to bring to you while you're maybe feeling this way with the Five of Pentacles coming up next. What was I getting from this card when it first came out? I'm trying to remember now. It was something like, well, I mean, it's the typical feeling outcast, feeling solitary, feeling like nobody's listening. Or it could just be like me, like I was attempting to go to Toronto and ended up kind of on these back roads several times instead of the main thoroughfare. I got booted off the main thoroughfare and was kind of like this train actually, but not nearly as efficiently. It was going through the countryside. It was a nice and relaxing and peaceful drive. It took way, way, way longer than it was supposed to. I ended up missing my tea date with my shaman. I was supposed to meet her for tea, but I didn't get there till 4 hours later, so we missed it. And we talked about maybe rescheduling at some point, but there's nothing on the books at this point. It's just left up in the air. And it's like, well, so what was that for? I had other errands that I was running anyway, so it wasn't a wasted trip. But it ended up that everything that I wanted to do that day was put on the back burner. Everybody else got what they wanted, in a sense. Other people got what they needed, but my needs were still put on the back burner. So maybe that's how you're feeling about a situation, and your friend is saying, you know what? I'm going to arrive sooner. This Queen of Wands is talking about that. It's talking about like in the morning. It's almost like they're traveling overnight. Maybe that's what this Five of Pentacles is talking about. It's talking about them traveling overnight to get to you by the morning when the sun is first rising with that Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands, though, is an interpreter energy for me. The Queen of Wands is an interpreter, and the Queen of Water has become an influencer. The Queen of Wands is an interpreter because that's the one that teaches people how to decipher things. And then you've got the Wheel of Fortune again underneath the original Wheel of Fortune. It's interesting. Was I talking about almost missing a tea date? And then I realized I just shared the story of me actually literally missing a tea date this week. I had an appointment to meet my shaman for tea at 4 o'clock, and then I didn't arrive until 8 o'clock. But this was talking about a narrow miss. It wasn't missed at all. You still got there on time, but it seemed like it wasn't going to happen. And it could be the only reason why it's happening is because this friend is traveling through the night to kind of be this rescue energy to pull you out of the cold. Maybe they're giving you a tow. Maybe the reason that you're stalled out is because you need a tow truck, for example. You're kind of stuck in the mud. I'm not seeing, there's no hanged man or anything here. There is the humility card here. So whatever it is that you're going through, it could be a humbling experience. It's bringing a lot of humility in. Humility and integrity, which I feel like is already belongs to you anyway, but it's bringing it to the foreground. Whereas you may be just naturally a humble person, it's a situation that is humbling to you. So it kind of reminds you of that, brings it back to the foreground to make sure that is still a priority for you, to be humble and wise and of integrity. So the Wheel of Fortune coming out twice is talking about the fact that this is a moment that is changing things for you, because you may be facing a Queen of Swords energy. This Queen of Swords thinks that she runs the joint, right? It's like she's the Red Queen, and she thinks that she's in charge of everything in Wonderland. When she arrives, she's like a tyrant, right? So this has nothing to do with you or your friend. This is the adversary that you are up against. But there's this Ace of Pentacles coming up next to it, which is talking about that you can do this, Leo. Whatever this is talking about, you can absolutely do this. I'm just noticing it's a cat's paw that's holding onto that wand. It's almost as if you're holding her at bay somehow. Maybe holding her at bay just long enough for your friend to arrive. Because whatever's going on, it feels like you can't do it on your own, even though you have this humility card. Perhaps that's what I thought this was the Strength card, but it's actually the Five of Swords, showing a battle between a lion and a unicorn. And the book talks about coming in either with the strength of the lion or the grace of the unicorn. Having that choice in this situation that seems to be a bit of a confrontation for you. It's interesting because even though you're the Leo, it almost feels like the Leo energy may be being lent to you by this friend of yours. So they're coming in with the swords and the pentacles. But it's like there's something at play here that is weakening your nature. Whatever this Queen of Swords is, she's weakening your nature, which is the reason why it's this humbling experience, because it's making you feel very isolated and vulnerable and stuck, because you can see the foot is rooted into the ground there. It's like somebody who's been in that position for a while. It could actually be kind of seen as a hangman energy. It's like a minor hanged man. It's like a a super minor hangman because it's a page, so it's even less than more than that, because it's not a major arcana. It's not the major hanged man. It's the minor arcana, and it's a page. So it's feeling to me like almost this subculture of stuckness, if that makes any sense. It's like a subcategory, a subtitle, a pretext to the real story. It's what comes before what really happens with this Seven of Wands coming next, because the Seven of Wands talks about that you actually do know the answer here, Leo. And I think that your friend is coming in to remind you of that. It's like they're coming in to remind you of your nature, almost like to hand you your wand back. Could be the reason why they're showing up as the Queen of Wands. There's like when they show up, your Queen of Wands is activated, and you step back into your bold strength, because whatever's going on has got you like turning away. And this is not your Leo energy at all. This is like you first waking up in the morning and not sure what's happening. It's kind of like when somebody, it's like when somebody, perhaps it's this character, wakes you up abruptly, especially when you really, really need your sleep. And then it takes you a while to come into the situation and understand where exactly you are. It's like you're not sure if you're dreaming or if you're awake, and it's very disorienting. But your friend is coming in to remind you. It's coming out right underneath this messenger energy. Their message, first of all, is that I'm coming, I'm on my way, don't worry. But their second message is remember the vision, Leo. It's like you've had a vision in the past. That's what the Seven of Wands talks to me about. It doesn't talk about conflict. It talks about a situation in the past that was actually uplifting to you, to the point where it allowed you to receive a download about the future. And now you're stepping into that future. So it's like you already know how this is going to play out, but maybe you've forgotten, and that's why your friend is here to remind you. They're here to remind you of who you are, to bring back your strength, so that you can stand up to this Queen of Swords with grace, humility, and strength, to be in your pure nature. But also, when you come back into your own energy, in the light of day, once you've finally woken up out of this energy, it's like you're waking up out of this dark night into the brightness of the dawning new day. And then you're remembering, your friend saying, didn't you tell me? Maybe that's what the Six of Cups is talking about. Kind of this nostalgic reminiscence about, didn't you tell me once about a vision you had about perhaps the Queen of Swords? Actually, it reminds me that I had the Queen of Swords very prominently in one of my ayahuasca ceremonies. It took me a long time to figure out that message because it was so disorienting. The Queen of Swords can be a very disorienting adversary. So that's what you're dealing with. Somebody that's very disorienting to you, but you've got this friend that is rushing in to help you remember something that you already know from the past that's going to help you penetrate this moment with a lot of strength and grace and humility. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to continue to pull cards and see what wants to come out in the extended. If you're interested in that, I'm now doing extendeds on Patreon. So the link to that will be in the description box. And if not, I will see you next time, Leo. Thanks, bye.